I was just 2 years old when my father kicked me out of my original home. Gosh, I was lost, and gosh, I was lonely. I cruised for miles up and down waterways, looking for a new home and looking for a suitable lady beaver to pair up with like. At first, I was afraid to come out in the daylight. There were just too many frightening dogs and humans. Even otters and foxes scared the heck out of me. But then at last I connected with a lovely lady beaver. She was difficult at first, but after I showed her my great chompers and we had that special kiss under the full moon, we were bonded forever. We would travel together and feed close together. We can eat almost any vegetation, but seem to find nibbling tree bark or chewing up fresh young twigs of the willow trees our favourite grub. Not very nutritious, I know, but we beavers have a big belly and can tuck away several pounds of healthy veg each night. It really was time to find a new home, to raise some kits of our own. And then at last we discovered this little lost island in the middle of a wetland of river, lakes and swamps. We enjoyed our evenings of tunnelling out new channels, and one of these proved ideal to give us an underwater passage to our new home. We call our home the lodge, but it is really a huge pile of branches. But it's snug inside and we love our big lodge. It was a lot of work cutting down small trees and saplings and dragging them to the island to add to the pile. Sometimes we'd add mud to help cement the loose branches and give the lodge a greater protection against the weather. Our ancestors came from Norway, but we still find the English weather quite chilly. Just to be safe, we have both a front and a back entrance to the lodge. I've developed a bit of a routine. I swim out under the water for about 20 yards and then float silently up to the surface like a submarine in a deep pool and slowly turn around, smelling the air, listening and looking to make sure it's safe. Any sign of trouble and I dive deep in the water, giving a mighty loud slap of my fat tail on the water surface to warn the missus. As there are almost no humans or dogs around, we have taken to coming out earlier in the evenings to enjoy the sunset and see more clearly the lovely quiet lakes that we call our territory. We've lived here a few years now and share the lodge with a couple of naughty kits from last year's brood. They are a bit irritating, but they help patch up the lodge and gather twigs and branches for our winter store and they will help to protect and feed the new batch of 4 kits my lady has just produced. She is still feeding them milk. Looks quite funny with her great big swollen tits. It will get too crowded in the lodge soon, and I'll have to chase away the bigger kits come autumn. But meanwhile, we just go out each night to chomp away at as much food as we can take. We beavers don't hibernate like some lazy animals I could mention, but we need to conserve as much energy as we can for winter. So we put on as much fat as we can, and we take food back to the lodge to stash underwater near the entrance, so that we can easily feed when we're feeling a bit peckish in winter. So you may see us dragging back small saplings or piles of greenery to build up our supplies. Luckily, only the surface of our lake freezes, and we can always swim down to our larder or further out to feed on water lily roots. We're good at holding our breath. I can hold mine for 15 minutes if I need to. And with my big flipper-like webbed back feet, I can swim a good distance in that time. We even have a second transparent eyelid so that we can see underwater like a pair of goggles. Right now, we are busy stripping down a lovely great willow tree that I felled right into the water. It would have made a good dam, but we don't need to block any more waterways here around, as it's a great still pond. I gnawed away at the outer side of the tree with my great chisel teeth. My jaws ached a bit, but eventually the tree was so weakened that the wind finished it off, and it fell with a huge smash. Old Foxy couldn't believe it. 1 minute a great tree, and the next it was lying in the water. Wonderful things, beavers' teeth. The front surface is hard, orange enamel, whilst the inner side is softer, white dentine. This means the back wears faster than the front, and all that chewing sharpens the teeth into razor-sharp chisels. Now the fallen willow is a perfect nightly feeding spot. We can rip off the tasty bark, bite off twigs and branches, or nibble at leaves and shoots. My own favourite trick is to hold a good twig in my front paws and work my way along it, stripping off the bark like I've seen humans eating sweet corn. I can hear the other beavers chewing away, even if I can't see them. Happy days, or should I say happy nights. Bye everybody. Just you stay away and leave us in peace.